Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here,
AdvBlueDude.
and welcome to 21st Century Music, the show where we take a very modern-day look at some of our favorite classic albums. Yes, an AdvBlueDude. It is your last day on the show, isn't it, my
Yes.
friend?
Oh,
You're leaving
yes.
forever, never to return.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Yes.
I'm kicking you out.
Okay.
Because AdvBlueDude, since you chose film school over staying at your parents' house to help with the channel, I am never letting you back on the channel again. This is
I
it.
understand. I understand.
And there is seriously like some incessant banging going on in the background. What's up with that?
Oh, I'm washing clothes.
You're washing clothes.
I'm
Oh,
washing clothes.
That's wonderful.
It's
That's
gonna happen.
oh,
It's gonna
that's
have to
nice.
happen. I apologize.
That's nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so so very appropriate for your last video of the season.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is actually the first time that I decided, like, hey, for one of our podcasting series, why don't we actually put a pin on it and have an actual season finale? So welcome to the season finale of 21st Century Music, a show that we've been exploring a lot of the time, with the exception of when we took that weird sort of U-turn and looked at something like Built to Spills There's Nothing Wrong with Love, or Weird Al for that matter. You know, but we've been talking mostly about rock operas. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, last episode, you made me review your favorite rock opera of all time. Well, not necessarily rock opera, but definitely concept album.
Yes.
Brian Wilson's Smile. Is that fair to
Yes.
say that that's your favorite concept album of all time?
Probably, yeah.
Probably?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bicycle rider just coming in the middle of the stage. Inside joke that no one's going to get because we were talking about it before the show and I don't feel like explaining it.
No one will know anything.
No one will know. No bicycle rider just riding in the middle of the stage in a stage performance. Yeah, that's
Yes.
it. That's it.
Yes.
Okay, so anyways, now we're reviewing perhaps what is one of my favorite rock operas of all time, Green Day's American Idiot. Oh yes. Oh yes. And we also might talk a little bit about 21st Century Breakdown, which is basically the sister album. But, I don't know, but we're going to focus our efforts mostly on the original, the iconic, the classic. So, AdvBlueDude, did you listen to this when it first came out, correct?
Well, that when it first came out. I don't know when this one first came out. I listened to it. I don't know how. When did it come out?
It came out,
2003. No. It's probably around like 2005.
Okay, and what was your first impression of it?
I mean, I was a preteen, so obviously I liked it.
Wow, that's
I'm
kind of
sorry.
insulting.
I didn't mean it as such, but it is kind of what the kids that age are going for these days.
Oh boy.
Not these days.
Am I gonna have to spend this whole review defending this album?
No.
You like it? You
Partially.
genuinely appreciate it?
I like some of it. Other parts of it I've become tired of.
I totally hear you in that regard.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Altogether, though, I think it flows very well as a concept album, as a story. I think much better than 21st Century Breakdown does, which is interesting because 21st Century Breakdown went through the whole like 3-act structure thing. But really, with 21st Century Breakdown, I mean, there's the thing I like about 21st Century Breakdown over American Idiot is the variety of style. That's why I kind of made you listen to like stuff like Peacemaker, which is very Middle Eastern inspired, Last Night on Earth, which is a fucking fantastic love song. So that album's got a lot of variety to it, just not as good of a story, because quite frankly, the story is like, we're together, and we're broken up, and we're together again, and the U.S. economy sucks. The end. Oh, God. But anyways, you want to get into American Idiot?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so let's start out with the title song entitled American Idiot.
Yes.
I'm assuming this is one of the songs that you've grown tired of.
I bet, yes. Yeah.
You know, it's funny because I think the sister track to this on 21st Century Breakdown would kind of be Know Your Enemy. Would you agree to that?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
And
They sound sort of similar as well.
right.
Yes. To be
I
totally honest, a lot of Green Day sound similar.
Well, that's
I
fucking Green
digress.
Day for you. They have a
Yeah, I know.
formula. They have a formula.
Yeah.
That's why I appreciate their rock operas, is because with their rock operas, in spite of still sticking to the formula of their sound to a certain extent, they really try and branch out and do some new things with it.
Yeah.
Know Your Enemy, to tell you the truth, that's a song that I absolutely despised when it first came out, because I was such a defender of 21st Century Breakdown. I was just like, first of all, 21st Century Breakdown, I guess with my discussion, I'll just kind of litter my thoughts of 21st Century Breakdown throughout this review without actually going into it. But I was so looking forward to that album. I was like picking apart all the information I could. I was like getting, like, I remember there would be like track lists that people would put up that would be like halfway accurate, and I'd be like, oh my god, what's the track list? You know? And so, so when Know Your Enemy dropped and everyone hated it, I was just like, oh god, no, this is not the image that Green Day should be presenting themselves with. Now I kind of like Know Your Enemy. I've kind of grown into it. I'm sick of American Idiot though.
Yeah.
Definitely. But story-wise, I do think there's a very good reason why this obnoxious as fuck pop song is right at the beginning. You want to know my theory of it?
Sure.
I believe that American Idiot is essentially the opening credits song of this album, much like 21st Century Breakdown is for the album of the same name. And I also believe that this is supposed to be St. Jimmy's selling out song.
Okay.
And I think that ultimately leads to his suicide. Is that he hits the song, and it's really big, and that's why I believe the song's supposed to be a little bit obnoxious, a little bit poppy. This is just probably me just overcompensating for Green Day, you know, just making a big commercial hit. But in the context of St. Jimmy in the album, who is definitely supposed to be like a, you know, an old, grizzled, phased-out rock star in, you know, kind of in the twilight of his glory days, and sort of like his whole character is all about like coming to grips with what his image represents in a lot of ways. Yes. And I think having a song like American Idiot go big for him, and go big to the point of making him like a genuine celebrity, where he was very much an underground figure in the punk scene. I think that's where a lot of conflict with St. Jimmy comes from, is, you know, his struggle between being an underground icon and a big pop star. And I think American Idiot kind of represents that. What do you think?
Yeah, I suppose it makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So then we get to the first of two 10-minute epics on this album. Jesus Suburbia. Oh yes.
Yes.
You like the 10-minute epics?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
You suppose?
Yeah, I suppose.
Alright, well, Jesus Suburbia, it starts off with the titular Jesus Suburbia. You know, I don't know. It's very loud. It's very in your face. There's a little bit of debate. Yes, it is. I do like the opening line, "I'm the son of rage and love."
Yeah.
And that comes back sort of like throughout the album in a couple spots. So I really do enjoy that. It's honestly, the opening segment is probably like my least favorite segment of the song. So there you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then we get to, what's the second part called? It's
City of the Damned.
City of the Damned. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love the line about waiting in 7-Eleven because, all right, a little bit of personal history for you. When I first started, you know, smoking the ganja, Yeah, I would meet with a certain drug dealer who was a friend of my sister's, and I would wait with my sister at a 7-Eleven parking lot. So I can totally relate to this. I can totally relate to that line. I'm sorry, that might have gone a little too personal, but
It's
yeah,
okay.
that's my personal drug history. Right
Hmm.
on. Yeah,
Yes.
getting 10 stacks in 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hmm.
It's Green Day, so I figure I might as well be open with my drug use. All right, so yeah, aside from I don't know, what do you think of City of the Damned? It's okay, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a bit better paced. It's a little
Yeah, it
different.
is. Yeah.
It's a little more mellow.
Yes.
Uh, it's still got a little bit of chanting in the background, but I I do like the imagery though. It's really setting up the world that the albums kind of didn't take place in. All the stuff about like the graffiti in the bathroom stall and
Hmm.
really good stuff. Really good stuff.
Yeah.
Then we get to I don't care and I don't care,
Ha, ha,
quite frankly,
ha, ha.
because it's just Green Day shouting I don't care over again, over and over again, and it's like all right, good for you. In
Yes.
the context of the story, I think this is supposed to represent the Jesus Suburbia as sort of like what I get out of the Jesus Suburbia character is that he's kind of a fixture in his own town, but he lives in a small town.
Hmm.
So, you know what I mean? So he's kind of big in his own world, but
Yeah.
his story in the album is sort of breaking out into the bigger world and discovering how small he really is.
Hmm.
Because in his own town, in suburbia, he is like a Christ-like figure. Just in the sense of the local youth, so I get the sense that he's probably in a rock band and stuff like that, and people admire him to a certain extent. So I just take the I Don't Care songs, just like, hey, look, Jesus is having a concert, yeah. So there you go, there you go, in the
Yeah.
context of the album. Then we get to probably my favorite section of this song, Dearly Beloved. Would you agree?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you have to say?
No, I mean this is one of the ones that I remember from when I listened to it forever ago.
Do
Huh.
you
I
mind me
don't really.
reciting it as Tommy Wiseau?
If you'd like.
I would like to.
Okay.
And this is going to show you how much I have it memorized by heart because I can just do it as any character I want. Okay. Dearly beloved, are you listening? I can't remember a word that you were saying. Are we demented or am I disturbed? The space is in between insane and insecure. Or therapy. You please fill the void, Peter, play psychologist with us. My demented, my just overjoyed. Nobody's perfect, and I stand accused, for lack of a better word. That's my best excuse. What do you think?
That was beautiful.
Right? Right?
Yes.
I especially love the play psychologist with us improv because I didn't realize until I was saying the line how much that actually fit with the room. Oh god, oh god. Okay, anyways. But yeah, it's just a nice love ballad. Wouldn't you say it's just a nice soliloquy? Soliloquy.
Yeah, it is. It's like it's a nice little break compared to everything
Mhm.
else. But I mean, again, I'm gonna say this constantly, but it sounds so very stereotypically Green Day. I mean, I like it, but it really does.
All right. Oh
Yeah.
boy. I get the sense that this is probably Jesus breaking up with his girlfriend and in suburbia and getting
Mm,
kind of the motivation to break out into into bigger and broader waters,
mm.
which is all about what the last part of it is. Tales from Another Broken Home. Is that what the last part's called?
Let me
I
check.
think.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so the last part is just like it goes into a very typical Green Day, like get in your face, aggressive punk, yeah, to live and not to breathe. But I do like how it slows down at the very end. It gives you kind of like a nice breathing room.
Mm.
All right, so then we get into Holiday. I assume this is another one that you're absolutely completely sick of, as am I.
Yeah.
Okay, so that in mind, everyone knows the song, and we're both. Did you like it at first before it became really oversaturated?
Yeah, at first.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
first 150 times.
Right, right. I hear
Yeah.
you. I hear you. Story-wise, here's what I think's going on. Um, just because I'm fucking selfish and I like to make all rock operas about me, I believe that Jesus of Suburbia is from Petaluma, because
Oh.
Petaluma is a suburb of San Francisco.
Oh.
So there you go. There you go. Totally makes sense, right?
Yes.
That's just how I picture it in my own mind. I picture when they do the suburbia thing, I picture Petaluma. Okay, so anyways, I picture all the St. Jimmy stuff going down in San Francisco, probably just because San Francisco's the big city with a lot of with a big music scene that I actually know about.
Mm.
So in that regard, I picture this whole holiday scene taking place in Golden Gate Park, and I picture it like it's kind of like it starts out, Jesus Suburbia, he's just, kind of just singing about being on a holiday, blah, blah, blah. He's fucking broken free of his home and everything. And the interesting part of the song does come when, the representative from California has the floor. And
Mm.
I believe that St. Jimmy's giving a demonstration in Golden Gate Park during that section. I
Yeah.
believe that's where Jesus of Suburbia first finds out and wants to seek out St. Jimmy.
Mm.
So what do you think about that? Do you think
Oh, yeah.
that's,
Yeah, it makes sense,
you
yeah.
just because, it's an obvious change. Like with rock operas, of course, it's very hard to sort of distinguish, especially when you have a band where one member is predominantly the vocals. It's
Mm.
very hard to distinguish characters sometimes.
Mm.
So I think that's one of the situations where it's clearly supposed to be like a St. Jimmy demonstration going on there with the over the top, like, I mean, to tell you the truth though, the whole demonstration is just like Bush sucks, Bush sucks,
Yeah.
Bush sucks,
Huh.
which honestly is a lot of this album.
Yeah.
But hey, I do think this album is, it's a lot of stereotypical Green Day wrapped around a really fascinating story with really interesting characters. That's what I think.
Mm.
So are you sick of Boulevard of Broken Dreams yet?
Oh, absolutely. It's not even good.
Again, I loved it the first 200 times I heard it. I was
Yeah.
like, oh man, this song, I totally relate to it.
I suppose I'm just sick of Green Day.
Honestly, I don't even really think it fits all that well in with the rest of the album. I think it's a little bit redundant after Holiday. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, we get it. He's met up with St. Jimmy. Now get to St. Jimmy. We don't need this whole, like, I'm all alone, and it's
Yeah.
only me and my shadow.
Yeah, this is the song that like the sad, lonely preteens listen to when they
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
after their week-long relationship.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Yeah.
And again, it's not by proxy, by just sheer critical technicality, it's not a bad song. It's really not. If it was a bad I think it's pretty relatable. The problem is, I think it's a little bit too relatable that everyone latched onto it.
Yeah.
I mean, not just preteens. Like, my dad fucking loved this song for a period of time. It became really universal for a while in the public consciousness. Like, yeah, Boulevard of Broken Dreams, man. We're all walking down the Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Every one of us, man.
Yeah.
Feel it right there.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, shut up, shut up, shut up. So, okay, yeah. Okay, next we get to Are We the Lady? What's your thoughts on this?
This is another one that I like. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, it's very mellow. I like the kind of tribal like drum beat that it has.
Yeah.
I get the sense that this is like everyone sort of like hanging outside of St. Jimmy's St. Jimmy's clubhouse or whatever the fuck, the place where they all go and hang out and watch TV and do drugs all day, which is where a good majority of the album's going to take place, which I love. It's very Hold Steady like.
Yeah.
So I get the sense like what's going on is, the song starts out in St. Jimmy, or I'm saying, God damn, I'm gonna get St. Jimmy and Jesus' Suburbia. Let's just clear this up right now. Do you think that St. Jimmy and Jesus' Suburbia are the same person?
I honestly don't know.
You honestly don't know?
I honestly don't know.
This is like a big debate. I think one of the reasons that sparked this debate, and I think you'll find this interesting, is that St. Jimmy is actually named after the character of Jimmy from The Who's Quadrophenia. And quadrophenia is all about like multiple personality disorder.
Yeah.
But having said that, I just don't see how it's like in the context of the album, the Jesus of Suburbia, he clearly leaves home, finds St. Jimmy. He doesn't create St. Jimmy. He finds him, and
he could be bipolarism.
I just think that is just cheap. It's because that has been done so much in rock operas, like, oh hey, there's this character who we're actually it's actually people in my mind. Oh my god.
He's bipolar, so we're doing two different musical styles.
I am very, very, very much in the camp that St. Jimmy is his own real person. And like I said before, I think the whole deal with St. Jimmy, and this is just kind of stuff that I like pick up on after listening to the album just over and over again. I've probably put more thought into it than Green Day has. So just let that be a disclaimer. But my whole thing about St. Jimmy is like I said, I think he's like, I picture him being like maybe like 10 years older than Jesus of Suburbia, like Jesus in his 20s, Jimmy's in his 30s. So he's kind of a little bit of a role model to Jesus, even though he's a fuck up. And, and like I said, like his whole deal is, is maintaining this this underground, this just legion of, I'm assuming, just a bunch of groupies who follow him, and who worship his music and who worship, what he has to say. And I'm assuming he's a very political artist, too. You know what I mean? I'm assuming he's very, like, and that's sort of where his following comes from, is that his following is almost sort of like an almost anarchist sort of system going on, where you just have all these kids who are just abandoning their families and whatnot and following this guy. So I find it incredibly fascinating. I think St. Jimmy is one of my favorite characters in all of rock operas. I think there's a lot you can mine from him just in terms of thematic material and whatnot. I think he's very poignant. And also a credible villain at the same time. So, I can't say enough good things about St. Jimmy. But anyways, in the context of St. Jimmy, this is like, I believe that throughout the album, St. Jimmy is looking for an heir, because I believe before Jesus even meets up with St. Jimmy knows he's going to kill himself. I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that he's like planning that, and he wants to, find someone that's going to take on the mantle of St. Jimmy after he's gone, because he can't handle. It's kind of a Kurt Cobain situation, you know what I mean? Like, let's just say after the big success of the American Idiot single, he can't handle the fame, and, so he's just caving to the pressure, but he's keeping it very much to himself. And, he's got this whole legion of followers with him. So anyways, with Are We the Waiting, the big moment comes when Jesus starts kind of taking control of the chorus towards the end of the song. And I believe that is, like, I can just picture St. Jimmy sort of, like, waiting, like, backstage, and then seeing this kid sort of taking control and being just like, He's the one. He's the
Hmm.
one. And see what I mean? I've given so much fucking thought to this story.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is there any credibility to that, or am I just really grasping at straws?
I mean, I suppose. I mean, I don't have the grasp that you have on this album or story. So,
Because as part of my mental disorder, I like to listen to things over and over and over and over and over again when I get obsessed with them. So yeah, that's just part of being OCD and autistic. Haha, brilliant. Okay, but anyways, so then we get Saint Jimmy. This, I think, is honestly a very strange song because it's probably the most stereotypical Green Day song on the whole album. It's also one of my favorites.
yeah.
Do you agree with that sentiment?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah. I love the raw energy to it. I think it's a fantastic introduction to the character.
Mm.
It's just like a big giant middle finger, you know? It's just like just the
Yeah.
attitude, man. It's oh god, it tells you everything you need to know about this guy, you know? It's like he's kind of a pathetic man child, you know, he always gets by based on, you know, based on his angel face and you know, it's so good. And I love all those moments of like, are you talking to me? I'll give you something to talk about.
Yeah.
Just so frantic, so energetic. I fucking love it. I love that song. Hmm. Um, da, 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 da. Yeah, I actually saw. You know, I haven't seen the Broadway version of American Idiot,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna make a confession to you right now, and you're probably like gonna want to not be friends with me anymore after I say this.
Okay.
I've never seen the Wall movie.
Oh, you bastard.
I'll give you a reason why I've never seen it though.
Why?
It's because I don't want to destroy my vision of the Wall.
That makes sense.
And I have a very, very defined vision of what it is. And
Yeah.
I am terrified that after I watch the movie, I'm just going to see the movie.
Yeah.
Mind, I've seen all the famous parts. You know, I've seen the trial, I've seen the fucking flowers
Oh, yeah.
and all that good shit. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
just never sat down and watched the thing as a whole.
Mm.
So,
It's
I
got
kind
Bob Hoskins for 2 seconds. It's beautiful. And Bob Geldof is actually fucking amazing in it.
That's what I've heard, yeah.
I digress. Yeah.
But I feel kind of similar about the Broadway interpretation of American Idiot because again,
Mm.
hello, you know,
Yeah.
I've spent so much time fucking thinking about this shit.
Yeah.
I'm like kind of terrified that if I see the Broadway version, I'm gonna be like, no, this is wrong. It should be this way. Rest assured, I definitely plan on, you know, one of my next picks coming up on 1.5 Theater Geeks. I'm going to subject Monkey to American Idiot the same way I subjected you to American Idiot. Just the stage version. So yeah,
Yeah.
we have that to look forward to.
Yeah.
But okay, so anyways, yeah, after St. Jimmy and yeah, but anyways, with the stage version, just they actually did a tour where Billy Joe played St. Jimmy.
That's cool.
I think that's
Huh.
really fucking cool. And he was like super into it too.
Hmm.
Oh man, like he tore it up. And I just love the choreo. Like I just watched a few songs, you know, a few performances of the songs off of the Broadway show. I really dig the choreography, and I really dig the stage setup because it's like it's just a bunch of TV monitors like all throughout the stage, and they do all these different things. It's cool. It's cool.
Hmm.
Very much sets the tone.
Hmm.
So, anyways, we get to my favorite song on the album. Give me
Yes.
Novocaine, the ultimate
Yes.
drug song.
Yes.
What do you think? Is this your favorite too?
I don't really have a favorite on this album.
Is that a criticism?
Yes.
Okay. I love
I'm
this
sorry
song.
to disappoint. Yeah, I mean, it's a good song. It's better than the other ones on the album, definitely.
Wow, you really don't like this.
I've grown tired of Green Day, to be totally honest.
I hear you. I don't know.
I think I'm just
I like-
cynical about Green Day. I really think that's most of it.
You and everyone else.
Yeah.
Which is why I had to fucking defend them, because I honestly think that these two albums are amazing.
Mm.
Um, give me Novocaine. I think it's very Beach Boys-esque, to tell you the truth.
Oh yeah.
Because it's got except for the chorus, of course the chorus breaks down into a stereotypical Green Day
Yeah.
chorus, and so I'll give you that much. But no, I definitely think the verses are very Beach Boys-esque, because the guitar's all soothing, and it's just like, it's very
Yeah,
spacious.
it's a lot mellower
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
than other various Green Day songs. All of them.
Right.
Um.
All of them.
Yeah. 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 It's a lot. It's definitely different from the other ones. Definitely.
Okay. Okay. Well, hey, I guess that's one compliment. It's different.
Huh.
You know what? Like, after a review of There's Nothing Wrong with Love, I'm like, there are literally like 3 or 4 albums that I'm just considering just not pulling up at all, just because I'm like, you're going to say the exact same thing. Like, Panic at the Disco is pretty odd. I love that album because it's. Wait, what?
What? No, not Panic at the Disco. Please don't subject me to that.
I love Pretty Odd. I
Yeah.
hate everything else. I
Huh.
love Pretty Odd. Pretty Odd is a fucking anomaly of a musical album. I'll tell you that much. I
Hmm.
hate everything else that band has done. I love Pretty Odd.
Hmm.
The reason I love Pretty Odd is it's essentially a big, old, giant, fat, fucking Brit-pop homage to Sgt. Pepper.
Hmm.
Just, just a giant, fucking in-your-face Sgt. Pepper homage.
Yeah. Huh.
But I think the thing that you'd say is like, yeah, it sounds kind of like Beatles. Yeah, that sounds like a Beatles song. That sounds like a Beatles song. Good job. I love that album, though. I fucking love that album.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one that maybe I'll do on my own.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You know
anyways,
me. I listen to the weird fucking shit.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So then we get to She's a Rebel. Again, I really enjoyed the song in spite of it being very stereotypical Green Day. What do you think?
Which song?
She's a Rebel.
She's a Rebel. Let me listen to it again. I've actually. She's. Click button. Fuck commercials. God damn it. 2, 1. Skip ad. Fuck you.
Get ad block.
This is very Green Day.
Yeah, yeah, isn't it? Isn't
I
it?
feel like I'm listening to a very slightly different American Idiot.
Oh no, 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 no. I disagree. I disagree.
Actually, you're right. It sounds like something, but it's not American Idiot. It sounds like Know Your Enemy, son of a bitch. It sounds like Know Your Enemy.
I can actually see that.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I'm so sorry.
Again, stylistically, it's not the best song. I
Yeah.
do like the energy to it. I do like the energy to it. I think
Oh yeah, it has a lot of energy to it,
I
definitely.
think it's a good kick in the gut after Give Me Novocaine.
Yeah.
Because Give Me Novocaine is essentially like a Sublime style, like stoner chill rock song.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just like right after that, it's just like bam, punch in the face. And so, but you know what? My favorite line. I'm sorry. I know it's overused. I
Yes.
love the fucking the heart hand grenade image. I love it.
Yeah, I mean it's a cool image, but you're right, it's very much overused.
It's overused, but goddamn, it's iconic, and I think it's one of the best album covers of all time. There, I just said it.
It's definitely one. Sorry, it's definitely one of the most iconic. Definitely.
Iconic, yeah, yeah. And I just love how it ties into the album. I love how it goes directly, she's holding onto my heart like a hand grenade. I believe that line, like, pretty much comes at the exact center point of the album, like literally like the half-hour mark.
Mm.
So I could be wrong on that, but it's definitely near the middle. So I think that's very cool that right in the middle you get the reference to the album cover.
Yeah.
Uh, that's basically, honestly, the only real reason the song stands out to me is the album cover reference.
Mm.
The rest of it I could kind of take or leave.
Yeah.
Uh, if there was ever a movie version of American Idiot, I've had this teaser trailer in my head for a long time, which is just the Warner Brothers logo, just because the Warner Brothers logo looks the most like a heart, and for no other reason. I have no idea which studio would actually produce it, but let's say Warner Brothers.
Yes.
The Warner Brothers logo, it starts beating like a heart, and then it turns into the hand grenade heart, and then you hear the opening riff from American Idiot, da 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 da, and then the heart explodes, and then it's just like American Idiot. What do you think?
That could definitely work as an opening sequence. Yeah.
Yeah, logo fun with logos. Okay, so let's see. After She's a Rebel, we have, oh God, what do we have? We have Extraordinary Girl.
Let me pull it up. I apologize. You were correct. Extraordinary Girl.
Yeah, it's got a nice little bongo drum intro,
Yeah.
Uh,
It's an okay little song.
I'm not the biggest fan of it. I don't like this song the same way I don't like fucking what's it called? God damn it, this song's so unmemorable. What's God? Now I'm drawing a blank. Fuck, I hate this song. I really hate this song.
What song?
It's a song on 21st Century Breakdown.
Is it-
Restless Heart Syndrome.
Ah.
I hate that song because it comes right after the reprise of Viva La Gloria, which
Yeah.
should have been the ending of the second act, but instead it's just like, we're going to tack on this other emo song, and it's just going to punch you in the goddamn face with how emo it is. I hate that song. I can't fucking stand that song. And I don't like this song for a similar reason, because I think She's a Rebel does such a good job of setting up a what's-her-name character that I honestly think it's a little bit redundant that you need this second song in there, and I think it kind of throws off the pace of the album a little bit.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Alright, yeah. But, it's got some interesting little... It's almost kind of like the precursor to Peacemaker, in the sense that it's got a little bit of a Middle Eastern flavor to it, where with Peacemaker they take that Middle Eastern thing and they really go nuts with it.
Yeah.
You listen to Peacemaker, right? What's your thoughts on that song?
Oh Christ, I did listen to it. You're gonna absolutely despise me when I say this.
You didn't like it? It sounds like typical Green Day?
Yeah. I think it could be.
You're a fool.
No, I think it could be because I listened to the 6 songs that you told me to all at once. But, like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, yes, this is Green Day. Yeah, there's Billy Joe Armstrong. There's them power chording on through. And then, next song,
Oh, God.
I mean, I'm very cynical about Green Day.
What do you think of Viva La Gloria? Because Viva La Gloria is actually very piano-based.
That one was interesting.
That's my favorite Green Day song of all time.
That one was really interesting. It was actually really different.
Because I think it really runs the gauntlet between being like sort of a really sappy Green Day song and a really punky Green Day song.
Yeah.
And it's really neither. And
Yeah.
I think it's like the perfect Green Day song for that reason.
Yeah.
I really do. All right, fuck it. While we're at it, what do you think of Before the Lobotomy? I think that has an interesting structure to it.
I need to listen to it again. But, I mean, yeah, I remember it being interesting, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I mean,
so
like,
that's
yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. I think more so with 21st Century Breakdown, they really try, and a lot of it is very power chordy, but I
It did
do.
seem like they tried to do different things with some of the
Right,
songs.
right, and I really admire that effort. Especially like I think 21st Century Breakdown especially shines in the second act. I
Mm.
think that's where a lot of the experimentation comes in.
Yeah.
I just, especially Peacemaker. I don't know what you have against Peacemaker because I think that's just like one of the boldest songs they've ever done.
I mean, it's just me, and like I said, I think a lot of it's because I listened to them all at the same time.
Right,
I
right.
had 6 windows open and was playing them
Oh,
all
wow.
simultaneously. But,
Yeah, I distinctly remember being like one of the first people to listen to 21 Guns because I was online like right when it leaked.
mm,
And that's another one of those songs I was blown away with it at first. Totally
yeah,
sick of it now,
yeah,
but I was blown away by it. Like it stopped me dead in my tracks.
mm,
I really love that. Like that was like my high school graduation song
mm.
because I was just, I don't know, maybe because to me I kind of took it as like it was Green Day's version of sort of like a John Lennon peace anthem.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
mm.
And in that regard, I think it's a very interesting song.
Yeah, it definitely is, yeah.
And I'm honestly glad that it got as popular as it did.
Yeah.
But anyways, off of
Know
21st
Your
Century.
Enemy's shitty. I'll just put that out there.
I think Know Your Enemy is a little bit of a guilty pleasure. I don't. It's like Know Your Enemy's like fucking the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. It's harmless. It's harmless. It's not a good product, but
Yeah,
at the end of the day, it's really not anything that's offensive.
it's harmful in that people liked it, and that encourages Green Day.
And then we got the trilogy, so okay, there you go.
Ha! I won that round.
By the way, I am definitely meaning to make a playlist that's just called Quattro. That's just like all the good songs from the trilogy.
Yeah.
Because I firmly believe that the trilogy is like one album's worth of good songs spread out through 3 albums.
Yeah, I don't understand why they did that.
I think they did it because they wanted to make it look like they were continuing to push the boundaries while at the same time going back to their roots and being like, we're going to just put out a bunch of rock music.
That's absolutely pointless.
But we're also going to do it in this weird fucking format.
That is absolutely pointless.
I did think the trilogy got better as it went along. I thought
Yeah.
that Uno was absolutely unlistenable. I thought that Dose had a couple interesting standouts, and I thought that Trey was genuinely good. Like, it's definitely not one of the better Green Day albums, but it's by far the most tolerable out of the 3.
Okay.
So there you go. It does get better as it goes along. Like I said, I fucking hate Uno. It's just Green Day at their power pop worst. It's just like the definitive Green Day power pop album, and it's awful and disgusting.
It makes me laugh when people try to call Green Day punk. I enjoy that. And then I just show them the Sex Pistols and the Clash.
Right. But that's the thing. I think people pigeonhole Green Day into being punk when they weren't really trying to be in the first place, and I think that's kind of
No, they were trying to be punk in the 90s.
But they were trying to break out.
Oh yeah, they were trying to break out eventually. But like in the 90s they were most definitely punk. Pop punk, but still punk.
I would say the turning point would probably be Warning.
Yeah, I would say that too. I mean Dookie definitely was punk. Unless that was after Warning, in which case I rescind my statement.
No. Dookie is
That was like their second album, right?
If you're not counting the Slappy Hours album.
No, I'm not counting the Slappy Hours album.
Okay, so yes, it was their second after Kerplunk.
Okay.
Kerplunk remains one of my favorites.
What? I know, like, in the 90s they were pop punk, but people still called that punk, and that popularized punk, and then people forgot about the Dead Kennedys and the Sex Pistols.
Right, I hear you.
And even the Ramones, they're different punk. They're American punk.
By
I
the way,
suppose.
did you hear about the announcement regarding the Ramones?
Yeah, it was Martin Scorsese's Ramones
Yes,
movie. Yeah,
yes,
that'll be
yes.
interesting.
Very exciting.
Yeah, it's a hell of a. It has pretty good timing too, because the last original Ramone died in July.
Oh, really? Hmm.
Yeah,
And I think it's interesting because Scorsese, he's like directed all these concert films and rock documentaries, but he's never actually directed a music biopic. So
you
yeah,
are
looking
correct.
forward to
Yeah. Huh.
that. All right, all right. So, anyways, holy shit, we kind of lost track of American Idiot. Letterbomb.
Yes.
What do you think of Letterbomb?
Letter bomb. It's Green Day. Let me look it up again because the so muffled in the middle. Uno momento, por favor. Manténganse alejados de las puertas. 2, 1, 0. Skip ahead. Oh, hello. Feedback. Oh, Jesus Christ.
What?
That is Green Day. That is Green Day.
Don't you like the
Wait. Oh no, I like the opening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like how it comes back throughout the rest of the album. The
Oh
nobody
yeah.
likes you thing.
Yeah. Not. It's that part's cool. But then the power chords and
Right, right.
oh my god, they need to break out. They need to learn that chords. You can do chords with 3 fingers and 4 fingers, and strumming up and down with all of them create a fuller sound. That's what they need to
All
do.
right, all right. You made your point. You made your
Tony
point.
Iommi is not the only guitarist. They don't need to follow him like his fucking Jeebus. God damn it.
Okay, would
Sorry, that
you
was my
like to know
rant.
my story interpretation of the song?
Yes.
Okay. I believe that Saint Jimmy and Jesus Suburbia are both in love with what's her name.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that. I could be wrong about that. I almost kind of take it like Saint Jimmy has a prior relationship with what's her name,
Hmm.
almost almost in a similar vein to Gideon with Holly and the Hold Steady.
Yeah.
Where it's like they're kind of like bar buddies from back then.
Yeah.
And I think he still has an affection for her. As a matter of fact, okay, just really quick, what do you think of Last Night on Earth?
Last Hour on Earth.
Last Night
I
on Earth.
Last Night on Earth. Ha ha! We were gonna go in a totally different direction. I mean, it's a good song. Like I said, like a lot of the songs that you linked to me
It's the
from
best
my
love song since fucking something.
okay, that's a hell
Bam.
of a statement.
Bam.
That's a hell of a statement.
It might not be the best, but I think it's on par with something.
I suppose you could say that, yeah.
I I think the chord structure is very similar. The way that they kind of make the guitar the chorus, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like the most standout part of the song is the guitar chords and not the lyrics.
yeah.
I think that's definitely the case with both Something and Last Night on Earth. And Last Night, it's so emotional to me. I just have a soft spot for this album. It came out at just the right time for me, right when I graduated high school.
Mm.
But anyways, the reason I brought up Last Night on Earth, except because I wanted to make the comparison to Something, because I think that that's pretty spot on. I definitely think Green Day had it in their mind when they were writing that song at the very least. They had to have because it's so similar.
Yeah, they probably had something in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, the interesting thing about Letterbomb is I'm sorry, maybe it's not Letterbomb. No, it's not Letterbomb, but I'm just gonna say this about St. Jimmy's relationship in general is shit, I'm trying to think of what song it's on. Uh,
Wake me up when September ends.
no, fuck that.
What's
Fuck
her
that
name?
noise.
What's her name? Homecoming, The Death of St. Jimmy, East 12th
Okay,
Street,
okay.
Nobody Likes You, Rock and Roll Girlfriend, We're Coming Home
Okay, shut
Again.
up, shut up, shut up, shut
I
up.
was helping. I was naming the other songs that were left.
I'm pretty sure it was during She's a Rebel, I want to say. I
Okay.
it's somewhere, I don't know, forgive me, but basically the scene in question is oh god. She's a Rebel. Yeah, it's She's a Rebel
Okay.
because She's a Rebel leads right into Last Night on Earth.
Mm.
And St. Jimmy actually sings Last Night on Earth, and he's singing it about what's her name.
Hmm.
So there you go. I mean, the Broadway show pretty much confirms that theory for me. So
Yeah.
So haha.
Yeah.
And I believe that the reason why what's her name skips town is because she couldn't handle the pressure of both guys essentially fighting for her and causing such a divide in their friendship,
Mm.
which I think their friendship is a big part of the album and a big part of the story.
Mm.
And so that's why she decided to skip town on them. And then, so then we get to Wake Me Up When September Ends. Yeah, I know, it's overplayed as fuck.
Oh, it's god awful. This song is not good.
This is actually really fun because this is like the first time that we've genuinely had an album that you've very much disliked and I very much like.
Yeah. It's a fun little duality, but this song is absolute shit. I don't care if it was written about his father. I understand the song's overplayed. It's meh. That is my view on this song.
I'm not going to say it's not overplayed, and I definitely don't think it's as powerful as some of the other ballad-style songs that Green Day's done in the past.
Yeah.
But my one argument for it is that I think it fits in the storyline very, very well. Because
Okay.
I think this is essentially St. Jimmy and Jesus of Suburbia reconnecting and rekindling their friendship right before St. Jimmy dies.
Okay.
So I take it like the first couple of verses, are St. Jimmy and Jesus of Suburbia singing on their own.
Mm.
And then halfway through the song, it kind of kicks in like these live drums and guitars kind of kick in.
Yeah.
And I take it as that's like St. Jimmy's final show.
Mm.
And St. Jimmy and Jesus of Suburbia are up on stage together, and they're just having this, this epic show. Singing in the rain and everything. They're behind the theater after the show. They're singing in the rain, and then I just picture as the song fades out, they're walking away from each other, and St. Jimmy gives Jesus one last knowing look, yeah, this is gonna be the last time you see me, bro.
Mm.
So that's why I can tolerate this song, because I think genuinely it really does depict both St. Jimmy and Jesus of Suburbia as characters.
Yeah.
I could be wrong because, like you said, there is that connection to his dad and everything on top of that, but I'm just going based on the storyline.
Yeah.
But, okay, really quickly, let's go through Homecoming.
I just want to say one last thing about Wake Me Up Before September Ends.
Go for it.
It's a bad song.
All right.
So Homecoming is next on the agenda.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's another 10-minute odyssey in American Idiot. The first was Jesus of Suburbia, which came after American Idiot and before Holiday. It's just a nice little area in between two songs. Someone would say, well, that's Homecoming. It's got 5 parts. Part 1, That's St. Jimmy. Part 2, East 12th Street. Part 3, Nobody Likes You, with lyrics written by Mike Dirnt. Part 4, Rock and Roll Girlfriend, with lyrics written by Trey Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Part 5, We're Coming Home Again, written entirely by Billy Joel Armstrong on his own.
Just to break this down really quick, Death of St. Jimmy, again, one of the most poignant moments on the album.
Yes.
I can totally picture this whole funeral procession of punks,
yes.
Just walking down the street, carrying his body and everything.
Yes.
So yeah, just really good imagery there. And then
Yes.
I like the transition to East 12th Street where
Yes.
just emotionally where Jesus is in that place and he wants to get out, blah 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 blah. I do think they keep up the variety.
Mm.
It goes from Death of Saint Jimmy. Oh, and by the way, I do fucking you've got to admit that the way they carry over the Saint Jimmy theme throughout the album is good.
Oh yeah, I mean like the composition is good. Parts of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I
Yeah.
love the Saint Jimmy theme. The dun dun dun. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they use that as like his funeral march really, just really emotionally resonant for me.
Mm.
Let's see, East 12th Street, like I said, it's something everyone can relate to, just being stuck in a dead-end job when you get the fuck out.
Mm.
So it's a nice, quick little thing.
Yeah.
Nobody Likes You, I'm a big fan of just because I really like Mike Dirnt. I really like when Mike Dirnt does vocals, and he just kills it with this section.
Mhm.
And Trey Cool, kind of the same story. Seriously, what do you think of this section? It's badass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's so tongue-in-cheek. It's ridiculously tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
And then I really don't like We're Coming Home at all. I think it's super repetitive. I think it ends the song on a really lame note.
I'm gonna say anything. I'm gonna drink my Capri Sun.
I do like the breakdown that they have at the end of the song where Jesus is like, so fucking pissed off. I don't know. I don't care. Blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And What's Her Name is a very sort of unmemorable last song. It's
Mhm.
nice. It's nice. I don't like it that much. It's what it is.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's American Idiot.
That's American Idiot. By Green Day.
Did you get anything out of me trying to put the story together for you? Anything at all?
No, I mean I understand the story. That doesn't make me like the album better,
I hear
but
you.
I understand the
I hear
story.
you.
Yeah.
Do you think it'd work better as a movie than it would an album?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't.
Because of course you know me, I've spent an unnatural amount of time thinking about what this would be as a movie.
I mean, like, even as a movie, I don't think it would solve the problem of Green Day's repetitiveness.
Yeah, yeah. Again, that's like it's tough because again, 21st Century Breakdown. I definitely think the story is inferior,
Yeah.
but all the instrumentation, all the music is totally superior.
Mm.
So take the music of 21st Century Breakdown, the story of American Idiot, you'd have a goddamn perfect rock opera.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's just it.
And Weird Al's Canadian Idiot is a wonderful parody.
I need to listen to that. I didn't know
Oh,
that.
it's
I actually was gonna ask you if Weird Al's ever done a Green Day song.
Yes, he's done Canadian Idiot. I don't
Is
think
that
he's
it?
done anything. Oh, Alternative Polka had Basket Case in it.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
So a little bit. Canadian Idiot's really the only big one that he's done though.
Mhm. All right. Well, that'll do it for this season of 21st Century Music.
Yes.
And as AdvBlueDude, unceremoniously goes out to fulfill his fucking film school dream.
Yes.
Come on.
Before I leave, I would like to
No, 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 no.
no, I would like to apologize for something.
Oh, okay.
A few days ago, Tiki and Mew they did a show, and they did it on Hansel and Gretel, and they apparently made a mistake, a very egregious mistake. So
Yeah, how
I just
generous. It makes us the
I
worst
just
YouTubers ever.
I just wanted to apologize to
On our
everyone.
behalf.
I just wanted to apologize on their behalf. So I need to remember the name. The problem was that they got the
Richard
name of the composer
something.
wrong. They got the
Oh,
name of
no.
the composer wrong. So I
Yeah.
just like to apologize and let everyone know. As a slight addendum, you'll see there'll be annotation in the Hansel and Gretel video coming up in the next hour. Johnny Costa actually did the music for Tim Burton's Hansel and Gretel of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood fame. So, in case you guys didn't know, I just want to let you guys know
Yeah,
that
how dare us? How dare
we
us?
apologize. We try to fact check. It's probably Mew's fault.
Probably.
I mean, yeah, that's just how it goes. So I apologize. It won't happen again.
God damn it, Mew.
We'll definitely keep on our toes.
Fuck,
Mew
it's
has been
literally the first show that Mew does in like months, and it gets us labeled as the worst YouTubers.
yes, we have we have issued Mew a verbal warning. So he's aware, and he will be fact checking throughout the rest of forever.
Well, he definitely knows not to fuck with Blue Dragon 5 in his back. That's for sure.
God, he was pissed. But but yes, I apologize for that. I just want to put that out there as a little leaving remark.
Public service announcement.
Yeah. PSA. Johnny Costa did the music for Tim Burton's Hansel and Gretel.
All right. Okay, well, AdvBlueDude, you know. Well, you're going to fucking film school.
Oh, yes, I am.
I will be here, and I will be starting a new series connected to 21st century music. You want to know what it is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well.
Unless that was rhetorical.
It was a rhetorical question, because you really didn't have a choice.
I don't want to hear it. I don't know.
Okay, then take your headphones off, mute your microphone.
I will.
Ow. Okay.
Tell me when you're done.
I'll give you a thumbs up.
I can't hear you, but tell me when you're done, okay? Okay.
Okay.
Are you
Next
done?
No, I'm not.
You're not done. Okay. Thank you.
Put your headphones back on.
Just let me know when you're done.
Put your headphones back on.
I'll keep them on. I'm so sorry.
God, I'm trying to get through this before fucking midnight, and it's 3 a.m. your time.
It's only 2:44. We're doing great.
Okay, so anyways, will you kindly let me read this thing that I very clearly scripted out that I'll probably butcher? Will you kindly let me do that?
I believe in you.
Okay.
Yes.
Next time on 21st Century Music, we're gearing up for Soundtrack Month, a series dedicated to your favorite musical moments in movies. To start things off, we're reviewing the soundtrack to a film that's about a boy who gets whisked away from his home at the very start of the movie following a personal tragedy in his life. Alone and afraid, he makes friends with a merry band of outcasts and even has some romance along the way, while trying to defeat an evil and overbearing villain. His only real source of comfort is his collection of music, which weaves its way into the film like a character unto itself, as the boy travels a strange land with the ever-present soundtrack playing in his vessel. Next time on 21st Century Music, I'll be reviewing the out-of-this-world soundtrack to Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. You thought I was going to say something else, didn't you? Seriously, I've been playing that all night. Give me some props. Give me an applause, AdvBlueDude. I got through that without any stumbling. I'm proud of myself.
Very proud of you. Truly, I am.
So yes, Soundtrack Month will be starting. Rest assured, we will get to Guardians of the Galaxy. Blue Dragon 5 is just at a con right now. If he's at Dragon Con, I'm not sure if he is or not, but if he's at Dragon Con, then AdvBlueDude is very jealous, aren't you?
Yeah, Terry Gilliam's going to be there.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he's at Dragon Con or not. I do know he is at a convention, so he won't be with us for the next couple of weeks, but when he returns, rest assured, that's probably the first show we're going to do together as a Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack. But the first soundtrack for Soundtrack Month will be Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, a movie, ironically enough, that I have very much compared to Guardians of the Galaxy in the way that they use the music. So I'm really looking forward to talking about that. It's one of my personal favorite movies of all time. It's like the perfect teen movie for my generation. It's one of the few teen movies that doesn't depict teenagers as fucking idiots. So, yeah. So there you go. Nick Nora's Infinite Playlist. coming next week. So, Adventure Blue Dude, I think there's only one thing left to do.
Oh, Christ.
You have it pulled up?
No.
Pull it up.
Let me pull it up. Why did I agree to this?
I don't know. I don't know. I was genuinely surprised that I got you to.
I'm surprised, too.
You are so unenthusiastic about this. Got it?
Yeah.
All right, I'll start, and then we'll just trade off every,
Every verse?
yeah, every verse.
Okay.
All right. So, Adventure Blue Dude, because in spite of your incredibly selfish reasons for leaving us, I figured I'd prepare a little goodbye song. So, yeah. Saying goodbye, going away. Seems like goodbye, such a hard thing to say. Touching a hand, wondering why. It's time for saying goodbye.
Saying goodbye, why is it sad? Makes us remember the good times we've had. Much more to say, foolish to try. It's time for saying goodbye.
Don't want to leave, but we both know sometimes it's better to go, unless you're going to film school for selfish reasons. Somehow I know we'll meet again if I let you back into the channel.
Yeah.
Not sure quite where, and I don't know just when. You're in my heart, so until then, wanna cry.
Whoa! You skipped
Oh, I'm
you
sorry.
skipped a
I'm
verse.
sorry. God damn it. Wow. Wanna smile.
No. You still skipped a thing. It
Oh.
repeats that. It's time to
Let me
say
just
we
start
can sing.
over.
You want to sing the last verse together? We
Yeah.
can sing it together.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
Alright.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Where do we start from?
Somehow I know we'll meet again.
Okay. Let's do it. God damn it. Somehow
Now
I
I
know
we'll
we'll
meet
meet
again.
again.
Not quite sure
Not
where,
sure quite where,
and
and
I
I
don't
don't know
know just
just
when.
when.
You're
You're
in
in
my
my
heart,
heart,
so
so until
until then,
then, wanna smile,
smile,
wanna cry,
cry,
saying
saying goodbye.
goodbye.
We did it.
Okay.
Oh Christ. Okay, we done it. Goodbye, everybody.
No.
What?
La la la,
Oh, jeez.
la la la.
Ah,
It's
ah,
time for
I'm
saying
saying goodbye.
goodbye. All right, Adventure Blue Dude. We'll see you on the flip side.